are strong. Oh yeah, you are our champion. I love you with my heart, my mind, and my soul. Whatever you say is so. Oh, oh, Jesus. Jesus, your presence is so dear to me. Your glory is all I need. Oh, rain, Jesus, rain. Oh, 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 oh. I'm saying, Jesus, your presence is so dear to me. Your glory is all I need. Rain, Jesus, rain. Oh, 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 oh. Can I say success if success never came from you? How can I say my dreams were accomplished if my dreams weren't sent by you? All I'm saying, nothing really matters. Jesus, if I can't feel you. Oh, oh. For the sake of your name, Lord, forgive my iniquity. Give me understanding so I can keep your laws with dignity. You fill my heart with joy. Oh, merciful, oh Lord, I love you. Oh, I'm saying, Jesus, your presence is so dear to me.
My God.
Your glory is all I need. Rain, Jesus, rain. Oh, 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 oh. I'm saying, Jesus, your presence is so dear to me. Your glory is all I need. Rain, Jesus, rain.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Chill and Chat. Yes, listening just now to Jermaine Edwards, My Champion. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful song. And I know that you're not seeing me as yet, but here I am. Yes. Welcome to another Chill and Chat. It is indeed a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. To be alive, they say any day above ground is a good day, and today is indeed a good day. Today we have a show lined up for you that is just simply awesome, and I hope that you are ready. Really and truly, the person that I'm going to be interviewing today, a lot of you may not know her, but it doesn't mean that she is not known. It doesn't mean that she's not known and stuff. So we're going to be talking to no other person than the lady that you see on the screen there. My special guest will be Annika Robinson. Yeah, she will be talking to us today about some stuff that she has been through in her life. She has been through a lot of things. We had a conversation. We've had several conversations a couple days ago, and trust me, when I listen to her story and the things that she has been going through, it is amazing how she held on and remained in God. right? She is a budding gospel artist also, but of course we won't just be talking about her our gospel artist nest. No, that doesn't sound right. Our her gospel artist nest. Alright, alright, may not think that sound right either. But anyway, so I'm gonna be calling Annika to get herself ready as we move into this very interesting interview. I want to say good afternoon to Melissa. Today's Chill and Chat is brought to you by 2512 Smoothies and More. Yeah, 2512 Smoothing and More. Next week we're gonna be having we're gonna be making sure that we have smoothie on set so that you can understand where the sponsorship is coming from. I see 2512 Smoothies and More right here. Yeah, Vion Moody smoothie. Yeah, give your stomach a healthy surprise is what is gonna be happening. So 2512, and of course, you know, when the owner and CEO of 2512 sees this, she is going to be saying, wait, when the 25? Yeah. But anyway, Vian, thank you so much for sponsoring Chill and Chat today. Next week, we're going to be having the smoothie. She is on leave currently, so we're just doing this today, and then next week, you're going to be seeing the smoothie. They have several smoothies. They have the banana something, the green crush, the berry, one wally for something. But anyway, let's get into this very interesting interview. I see Annika there sitting, and she's looking. Let me make. She put on her makeup first because she's putting on her makeup so she can come on and stuff. And I'm going to now bring her on. And good afternoon to you, Annika. How are you?
Hi, KG. Good afternoon. I am well, thank you.
It's good to have you here on Chill and Chat.
I'm happy to be here.
All right, so may I try? I'm trying to fix up my camera here. I don't know what is happening, but yeah, we'll work it that way. All right, so good to have you here on Chill and Chat. Really and truly, it is, of course, as I've said before, a show that speaks to the people who maybe, you know, they're going through the same thing that you're going through and all of that, and your testimony is going to be one to probably inspire somebody. Now, the first thing I normally ask my guests is to tell us, who is Annika? Oh, yes, your last name, Lord of Mercy, remind me of it. Is Annika Robinson Graham. And people, the story is going to be interesting. That is the reason I forgot the name, because I know as Annika Robinson, and then we had a conversation, and then she said to me, you know, it's Robinson Graham, and I said, what you saying to me? And she said, yes, but you'll understand why I'm saying what I'm saying now when we get to that point. All right, so Mrs. Graham, let me first say that to you right now. Okay, tell us, who is Annika Robinson Graham?
Okay, good evening, everybody. Annika, I am just a young lady who loves the Lord. I'm passionate about the Lord. I'm passionate about ministry, about the work of God, and just a simple person.
Yeah, just a simple person.
Just simple.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, I'm just a cool person. I'm
You're
cool.
you're just cool.
Yeah, man, I'm cool.
All right. So now, you're. I got to understand from Ricardo that you also go by the name of Sister Bunny.
Yes, yes.
So we soon deal with that. I don't know if you remembered a concert that you were a part of. I emceed that concert several.
Oh yes, I
2 years
remember.
ago. Was it 2 years
I
ago?
remember.
2019 it was.
2019, yes.
Yeah, it was 2019. All right, so Anika, let me get into this. Let me move my image above there so that I don't get in your face there. Okay, so now you and I had a conversation uh, several days ago, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Or a couple of, maybe a couple of days ago. And
So,
yeah, you were telling me about some stuff that you go through. Now, what we're going to talk about today is something that a lot of young people I see are struggling with, and I also see happening to a lot of people. Now, tell us your story. Now, you're married, but
yes,
it wasn't always that was in your mind, don't it?
no, it wasn't always in my. I mean, for what at one point, I totally gave up on getting married ever. I just thought that later for me, I felt like a failure,
Mm-hmm.
and like God was somehow punishing me for
Mm-hmm.
all the wrongs that I've committed in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I honestly did not have marriage in view at all.
When did you get married?
I got married 2019.
2019, 2019. All right. So I want to say good evening to Jamina Patience. Hi Jamina, what's up? All right. So now, why did you not have marriage in mind in mind anymore? What happened? What
Okay,
triggered that?
so I got pregnant when I was 14. I
Mm-hmm.
had my daughter when I was 15. And,
Wow.
it was I got pregnant and then I got baptized in the same month without knowing that I was pregnant. Didn't know I was pregnant, but I know that I went to convention and I was there and I just felt a pull inside of me like I really wanted to give my life to the Lord. And I remember telling my mother that I wanted to get baptized, and she was saying, "You sure you're ready?"
Mm-hmm.
I then I could not say what it was, but now I know that it was the power of the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just church was over and they were just taking it for jokes, so nobody came with. I told them to take clothes for me. Nobody came with any clothes, and so I had a eunuch baptism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was in February.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was still going to school, going to Mark Bay High School. I was in third form at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we had a trip, a final year trip for July.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mother, at that time, my mother was a dressmaker.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I think my mother have some special eyes to know when people pregnant. And like, well, I was like a tomboy in the household because
Uh-huh.
I enjoyed being around my brothers and male cousins, like the
Right.
boy.
Right.
And so I am used to just walking around like how my brother them walk around in them brief, me walk
Mm-hmm.
around in a skirt panty. But then
Mm-hmm.
I knew I went and I had sex. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think I started getting conscious of my
Mm-hmm.
body suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
As before that, I was innocent, so I did not care really.
Right.
And so I think mommy noticed that and she was saying, "Come here to me." And I remember she was sewing something for me to wear on the trip. And I
Mm-hmm.
went over to her and she said, "You know you're pregnant."
Just like
And I
that?
said, "Yeah, just like that." I said, "No, I'm not pregnant," because I remember before that I did track and field. So I was at school and sometimes I felt like I was fainting. I remember
Mm-hmm.
one day I fainted and they took me to the nurse and the nurse said I am anemic.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally you're a teenager, you run with that. 'Cause you know you do something wrong
Yeah.
and you just wrong part come after that.
Right,
So
right.
I was like, okay, my anemic.
Mm-hmm.
Sent me to the hospital and I went to the hospital and they just tell me say me anemic. So me anemic.
So
So
all right, hold on before you continue. What kind of test did they do to determine that you were anemic?
I don't they didn't do any test at all. They just check my eyes, pull down
Mm-hmm.
my eyes, and then they just say I'm anemic.
Just like that?
But yeah, but just imagine a baby growing inside of a baby.
Mm.
Then I must be anemic. You understand? Because
Oh
whatever
yes,
blood I
yes.
have, it has to be sharing for two of us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they said that, and I think I was in denial for the other months after that,
Mm-hmm.
because I would just be there wondering to myself, wonder if I can be pregnant, wonder if I can be pregnant. But my mother was so stern. My mother, I grew up in church.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in church. But my mother was super stern. Like, I remember in second form, we got some family planning project, and I
Mm-hmm.
could not take that home. I took it home. My mom sent me back to school with it. So I know that, when I got pregnant, it was not because my household was not one of the best household, or, parenting was not at the best.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mother was just so stern, like, you felt like you had was to do stuff outside. And so I went home, I started feeling sick, I felt sick at school, but I would not tell anybody what was happening. And when I went to the hospital, then tell my mother too, send me anemic. So nobody now look for no pregnancy. And I remember the doctor, after she said, you're pregnant. And I was like, Jesus, this is like, because every day I would beat up my belly, I would thump my belly, I would do all kind of stuff, and I don't feel anything different. I remember we had sports day, I think it was April.
Uh-huh.
And I ran in April and I did all my races well. I ran 800, 1500, and I did well. So no pregnancy. I mean, nothing was showing. I didn't have any belly. I was just flat.
Mm.
And I remember she took me inside the room and she examined me and she said, you're pregnant and this is more than 4 months. I don't know, my mother know that, but me tell her, say, my mother have a little thing about her. She a doctor, nurse, and everything. So she took me in and she examined me. And then she said, that's serious, no?
Yeah.
She pregnant. She pregnant. And I remember my sister, my eldest sister was there and she started crying. And I don't know what, I felt like I wanted to sink in a hole. She took me to the hospital. The doctor at the hospital said I was 3 months pregnant. She said, no, this is more than 3 months. She took me to about 4 doctors in the one day. And then the last doctor said I was 5 months. And she said, yes, you might be right.
So
So then,
your mother is telling the doctor who is trained
oh, yes,
in the field of doctorism
yes, of
that
doctor,
im wrong say your
yes.
your mother sample.
Listen, I don't know what she did. She put me on the bed and she felt my belly bottom and she felt and she said, it's more than 4 months. And trust me, for the months to come,
Mm-hmm.
I I became suicidal. I tried
Wow.
committing suicide. I felt like a failure, like I failed my family. I I think the hardest part was watching my mother not. She wasn't talking. She wasn't eating. She wasn't doing anything at all. She was just like living. Some days she would just go out and we don't know where she is. And
So
that more than anything,
that was the most difficult part for you.
that was the most difficult part, along with church, because a lot of persons started assuming that I got pregnant while I was in church, and I did not get pregnant in church. But persons would not ask you how it happened or anything. They would just assume, and some persons make a lot of public comments. And my mother, they put my mother at the back bench. You know them say them backbench people.
Mm.
My mother, yes, my mother had to stop performing her duties in church, and she was backbenched. And watching all of that was like, it was devastating. And I remember one day she went and she collected my report at school.
Mm-hmm.
And she came home and she was just crying. And she said, a teacher friend of hers came by, taught at the school as well, and they were saying, but she does her work well. You know, why would this happen? Why would this happen? And my mother just broke down. I Believe me, I cannot tell you when I took the knife. I don't know when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I know and actually felt was when somebody grabbed me and took the knife from my hand.
So
I
you be-
was just going to,
so basically then, at the point when you saw your mother breaking down, that was when you subconsciously, because it must have been subconsciously that you did it. You subconsciously just took up a knife and decided that you were going to end your life right there.
yeah. I would be in the house with my mother and I didn't know how to face her. I would lock myself in the closet. I wouldn't come out. But I can tell you this though, that I think I have one of the best mothers ever because
Mm.
I found out that I was pregnant on my birthday. And on
Really?
that very day, she went out and she bought me a gift still. Yes. She still bought the gift and I went to private doctor because when I went for my first visit, the doctor said the passage was low. I'm not going to be able to have the baby. And so she wanted the best care for me. I don't think she even cared about who was responsible for the pregnancy. I think all she cared about was just her daughter and that I was okay. And then I remember after I went in to have baby, I couldn't have the baby because my passage was low. So I was in the hospital for a couple of days. They kept on putting on drip, putting on stuff. They put me on pain. And I think it was about the third day that the baby finally came. And that experience was, trust me, it was something else too. And after I had baby, I remember a senior person in my church. He came and he visited me. He said to me, you know, nobody is going to want to marry you now because you're no longer a virgin.
Alright, so hold on. A senior person who you would think would have, encouraging words to say, all right, you made a mistake, it done happen
Yeah.
already, let's see how we can move on. He's saying to you, or you said he, so he's saying to you that you're done, you don't have no
Yeah.
hopes of getting married. That's it.
Yeah. No hopes of getting married. Nobody is going to want you, especially with a child and especially because you're no longer a virgin. And
So hold
that
on. You-
day,
So you said you were 15.
I was 15.
So a senior person comes to a 15-year-old and
Yeah.
telling and saying that to a 15-year-old. What at that moment? What went through your head at that specific moment?
Honestly, at that moment, this is somebody that I looked up to from a
Mm-hmm.
child. Because I
Right.
told you I was born and raised in the church. So I looked up to this person. And so if those words coming from that person,
Mm-hmm.
I actually believed it.
Oh my
I
God.
believed it and I lived that for years. For
So you
years.
actually, so you actually took the words onto yourself,
Yes, I took them.
and this is because of who it was coming from.
Who it was coming from, right, right. Receiving it was way easy because of who it was coming from. And I never saw anything wrong with it because I didn't even tell my mother until years later because I thought it was actually true.
My
And
God.
so for years, that was the life I lived. In church, I know the call of God was on my life and I limited myself because I'd rather stay behind
Mm-hmm.
because nobody is going to want to listen to me
Mm-hmm.
because you have a child. Nobody is going to want to hear me because you have a child. And so I was ministering for all those years. I never backslide. I was still in church, but it was rough being in church. And like each time you go up to sing, I had no confidence.
So hold on. All right. So you had the child at 15.
Yes.
At what point did you go back to church? How long did it take you to actually go back to church?
Well, as I said, growing up with my mom,
Mm-hmm.
we had a church. I didn't have any choice, but being in church, like
Mm-hmm.
in my immediate congregation, I was
Mm-hmm.
okay because that was where I had a lot of senior praying persons there.
Mm-hmm.
And so there I was okay. But within my wider church family,
Mm-hmm.
trust me, it wasn't easy at all. It
What
wasn't easy.
what were some of the things that I'm sorry, go ahead, continue.
If okay, say you have 10 persons to do something, I would be the last person chosen. It's like I became a cast out,
Mm-hmm.
I became a black sheep,
Mm-hmm.
and all because I got pregnant. I think it would have been easier if there was somebody who would come and ask me my story.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this. What would some of the things what are some of the things that they would say that you have ever heard them say? Give me an example of some things that some
All
people would
right.
say.
I have one child, but persons would say she breed out.
Jesus.
She done out.
And these are church people?
Church people. Church people would warn their daughters from making friends with me. Those who did befriend me were brave ones. They would warn their sons from even looking at me, much more to like me, because she have hit me already. I remember there was an incident in church where a young man liked me, and the lady is a church person, and she literally told me to my face what and what she will do me if I ever talk to her son and if she ever see her son talking to me.
So how old were you at this time?
At this time, I was like 20,
So your daughter would have been is a girl that you had, right?
I have a daughter,
So your daughter would have been 5 years old.
5 years, 6.
I know this woman is saying to you after 5 years. So obviously, 5 years ago when you made the mistake and got pregnant, the church people still had you up, not understanding that you made the mistake before you got baptized, not understanding that it was a mistake, and they still have you up.
Yeah, they still carried it. It's like, like something hanging over your head and
Hmm.
just keep dangling over there. That was it. And trust me, it was just probably a few years ago that I never really cared anymore about what person said.
A few
Because
years
I was,
ago.
yes, I told you that I lived this life for so long. I lived it out. It became me.
So the source of this life would be from what the senior person came to you and say. So
Yes, from
this
started there,
uh-huh.
and
So,
then
hmm.
with the wider congregation, the things that they had to say.
And so the things that these persons were saying, separate and apart from this person who came to visit you to say such a thing to you, the congregation, you believed what they were saying?
I believe them. These are people that they say they are Christians.
So you're hanging on to what they're saying based on the fact that these people are senior people in the church. They have been in the church for a while, so they must be hearing from God, and what they're
Mm,
saying must be true.
yeah.
All right, hold that thought. Hold that thought. I want to say good evening to Tony Shea Dinham. She says, "Hey Bonnie,
I
um,
told you.
Carrio Young, Shaquille Blair, and what's this? Sarika Jalal. Oh,
That's my sister.
that's your sister.
Yes, that's my
Big up,
eldest sister.
big up yourself, Sharika. Big up yourself. All right, so now you have wrapped yourself in the things that people are saying. Now you have cocooned yourself in the words of people,
Yeah.
albeit that these words are negative. But you didn't recognize that they were negative words, did you?
Mm-mm. I did not recognize that they were negative. And you know, that's the thing that I don't believe that a lot of leaders realize the responsibility they have as
Mm-hmm.
leaders. A lot of our, I'm talking within the church,
Right.
the responsibility you have when people believe you when you speak. And so it means that when you're going to speak, make sure that you're speaking positive things over
Mm-hmm.
your because I believed all of those lies for all these years. I thought that nobody now go want me. Me have one pitney and my life did done, you know. I stopped living.
Mm.
I
Wow.
stopped living because that was like, I mean, it those things destroyed me in a way that I had no self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if I started, I wouldn't pursue anything. I felt like a big failure. And I felt like nobody would want to hear me. Nobody would want to see me. I covered myself in those lies.
How did you how did you break free from the bondage of the things that people say? How did you how did you work out, because this would have been many years, this would have been several years, so I'm assuming it would have been like the other half of your life, because if you had your child at 15
Yeah.
and then people would have started saying these things, not understanding what was happening. They would have started saying these things. So, and you said nobody at all came to you to say to you, Annika, what happened? How, what really happened? Nobody sat down, especially
No.
from your church, to talk to you.
Mm-mm. Apart from those persons who were in church, who were close with my family, my mother,
Right.
nobody ever asked. I remember, I remember a friend of mine, a young man, you know, he said to me, but he didn't say it, he said it years after though.
Mm-hmm.
Said he were at a convention and a missionary
Mm-hmm.
came over. He was talking to me,
Mm-hmm.
and she called him away and said, "Why you talking to her? You don't know, say she have pitney already. You don't know, say she have pitney. What you do with her? What you do to talk to her?"
A
See,
missionary called him away and asked him that.
yes, a missionary. Oh, you know, I said, well, I can't say, why we are doing she? You don't see she have
So
half about it now.
Annika, I'm no miss me I start call you Bunny now, you know. So
Oh,
so
but
so so Bunny, and I'm very interested to find out where you got that name Bunny from, you know. But anyway, let me get back to this. It seems to me that the people that were around you saw you getting pregnant outside of marriage so young
yeah.
as the ultimate sin,
Mm-hmm.
because everything that they would have used to judge you, the only thing that they used to judge you was the fact that you have a child so young.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this: have you ever, at any point in time, regret that you did not got rid of the baby?
No. Never, never. I remember the first doctor that my mother took me to.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor told my mother, you can do away with it, you can have her abort it. And my mother said, no, not under my dead body.
Mm.
She's going to keep it. And she said, I don't know how you go and do it, but you go and keep it.
So now you're growing. You you're believing everything that people are saying. You have now gone into becoming an adult.
Yes.
You believe that no man in the world now go want you because you already have a child.
Yeah.
You also believe that you're a failure and nothing that you pursue will come to fruition because there's no way somebody like you can get anything good in life. Basically,
Yeah.
that's what I'm getting from you.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
what I want you to tell the persons watching now, and just before I say that to you, I want to say good afternoon to Lord of Mercy. There's so much people there talk. Shanique Fife, yes. Charmaine Thompson, Andre Osborne, Sean Ennis, Chev Harriot, where I say, uh, Tony, they might have big conversation in here in a chat here, Bunny.
Lord G. I thought I
Shade Miller,
feel.
Shade Miller. Yeah. Some of them are saying, speak, sis, yes. Somebody tells Prince saying too late. Tony says, so then come out for Bunny. All right, so now you have lived more than a decade of the lies,
Yep.
because if you said at five, at your daughter's fifth or sixth year, uh,
Yeah.
the missionary would have come, the lady would have come to you and said to you, say, to her, to anything at all, Ray with her son, whatever the case may be, and that is when your daughter is age 5. So it would have meant that the people would have been carrying your sin on
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
Yeah.
So it
Mm-hmm.
seems to me that having sex outside of wedlock, getting a child outside of wedlock and young, is the ultimate sin, because obviously they're not paying attention to anything else that has been
No.
happening. How did you
Mm-mm.
break out of that cocoon, as I asked before?
It was, I think it was around about 2009
Mm-hmm.
thereabout. I finally, because a lot of things were happening, I got to this place where I just felt like I was going to give up on God, because where the purpose me there in a church, if every move you move is like, even when you want to grow. I love the Lord so much, and God, I really want to serve you. I want to do your work. And it's like something, you by your step 2 times you hear tinkle, tinkle, tinkle over your head, something shake over your head. And I really felt like this was it for me. And so I said, me I could just backslide. And I plan out how the backslide going on. Because I said,
Hold on, give me the details of that one, because I need to know how that go. Give me some of the details. You might not give
I
me all.
hit,
Uh huh.
and I said, all right, with somebody like me, they love call me for sing
Mm-hmm.
at my church.
Mm-hmm.
So I go and tell them, say, my throat a hurt me. Lie,
Yeah.
lie.
Uh-huh.
When Satan want to set you up for kill you,
Yeah.
and that one wasn't working, so I said, all right, I'm going to start sit down on the back bench. As
Mm-hmm.
when they sit around the back bench, them going to say,
You do something wrong.
yep, I do something wrong, man, so I'm not call. So when I back bench and they still a call me. So I said, me I go stop that church. I
Mm-hmm.
stopped going to church. And I remember two sisters came and they went to a service and they called and said, Bunny, where are you? You're not coming? I said, no. And she said, my niece, one of them said to me, my niece is here. And her niece wasn't saved at the time. She said, my niece is here. And she said, if you don't come, she's going to leave. And anybody who knows me, I love the work of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there and thinking about it, but then me I said, no, if me I plan to backslide, I can't go. So they came and they drove and they came to look for me, and I I hid in a tree.
Yep. Your turn, Zacchaeus, now.
I went into a mango tree and I sat up there and they passed and they called, Bunny, Bunny, Bunny. And I didn't answer them. And they left. And I thought that they got to the destination now. I answered the phone. They said they came looking for me. But, all the time, you want to leave. I want to leave God, but I can't leave Him. I mean, I
Yeah.
said, God, look how much people just backslide. When you don't make me just backslide. How
Mm.
much people do it and nothing happen to them. Just make me backslide.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I planned it, and one night I got into an accident, a serious one,
Oh yeah.
and I was badly damaged.
What kind of accident? What happened?
I got hit. I got hit, and
By a car?
fighting or no, it was a fight, and I got
Oh.
hit. But that was my wake up call. That was
Mm.
where, I woke up and I started speaking to my mom. It was a dark time at that time. I was so bitter with everything. As I told you, the lady told me what she ever do to me if she ever see her son or talk to me. So me feel like nobody now gonna ever want me in the church. So when me I stay in the church for, it better me
Mm.
come out and go and go live any life. And I opened up to my mom about everything, and I told her then what the senior person had said to me. And she just started praying and she just started binding up some lies, binding them up. And she actually contacted the person
Mm-hmm.
and said, you need to make it right. Because for years, my daughter has been living this lie because of what you spoke over her life. And because she did not understood, she bought it.
Mm.
And I remember he called and he spoke to me. And after that time,
Mm-hmm.
I started looking at myself. I didn't used to look in the mirror. I thought I was just this ugly duckling. But after that, I
Mm.
started seeing myself the way God sees me. I started seeing myself as beautiful. I started speaking about my story, my experiences with other young persons. And that was how my deliverance came about. That was how it came about. I mean, I think it even affected my daughter because she, growing up and she saw the things and she heard the things, and it affected her as well, a lot of the things, because her father wasn't taking care of her either. He wasn't there for her like that. And so, it's like everything happening to you all at once, like, and then I could be honest with her about how she came about.
Mm-hmm.
I could be open and honest with her about how she came about, and then we started having a really close relationship. But I overcame. That was how long it took for me to get out of that.
This was how many years later? Give me a daughter's age when
My
you
daughter is
actually got to.
24, so it would have been about when my daughter was about 19, thereabout,
So
18,
you
19.
lived. So you lived this lie. You lived this negative talk over your life for 19
Yeah.
years, basically.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
Now you if it wasn't for the accident, the hit, that what do you think? I mean, do you think that you would still be living the same way if it wasn't for that hit that you got?
I think maybe I would have, because the hit led me to be open with my mom about all the things that were happening,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't talk a lot about, I don't express stuff a lot. I'm not open, I am not rude. So if you come to me a certain way, I'm not going to be rude to you. I'll
Right.
just accept it and go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And so the incident, though, caused the relationship with my mother and myself to, the bond became much stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sorry, it wasn't just, I wasn't just fighting alone anymore. You know, I had support, and she was there praying and fasting with me
Mm-hmm.
every single day, every day. So I know that I believe that God does things for his purpose. I do believe that, because hadn't it been for that, then maybe I would still be living that lie. Because I would still just think it goes so. And
Mm.
there maybe would not have been an opportunity for me to be open about it. And so, because of that, I'm so passionate about the young people,
Mm-hmm.
not just those in church, but in society and a whole, because people judge you because they don't know your story.
Mm-hmm.
People say all manner of things about you because they don't know where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I feel like I wish a hug could save them. And I wish I could find all of these young persons who need saving,
Mm-hmm.
especially young ladies, because I know what it feels like coming from a household where my mother was the most dominant one, not my father.
Mm-hmm.
He was hardly there. And so that was how I ended up in the situation in the first place, because I needed that father figure. I
Mm-hmm.
needed that in the household, and that wasn't there. And so I was the most emotional child. I wanted to see things work. I wanted the family. I wanted this. I wanted that. I That was how I ended up having gone into relationship at a very tender age. So I don't just look at young girls and just think them bad.
Mm.
No, I don't do that, because all of them, if you should stop and if you should listen, they have a story. They
Wow.
have a story. And the saddest part of it is that us, as we say we are Christians and we are children of God, but we are failing. We are failing the younger generation, because nobody listens. Nobody listens to them. Nobody ever came and asked me what really happened to you, Bunny. Nobody never came and asked that. And so maybe if somebody else apart from this person who had spoken that
Mm-hmm.
came, maybe I would have been open to that person. But nobody came, nobody cared. You understand? So
Mm-hmm.
I just became this cast out in church, and yeah, she don't know. She nothing good now go come out of her. But the day I stopped believing that lie was the day the Holy Spirit began to manifest powerfully in my life.
Wow. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking to Annika Robinson, aka Bunny, and I'm going to get to where the Bunny thing they come from. But before that, she's telling us about her journey coming in church and all the things that she has been through. Uh, it is quite amazing how someone can actually speak over your life, and it actually is something that as a young person and an elder or someone senior coming to you, you really hold on to it. And for 19 years, she has lived the words, the negative words of a senior member of the church. And she's now telling us she's going to move, we're going to move into, because the statement that was made is that nobody will ever want you because you have a child and you're not a virgin. But today her last name is no longer Robinson, it is Graham.
Amen.
And before I get to the Graham, where you get the name Bunny from? Where did that come from?
My mother, it's just the other day my brother told me that story. My brother said when I was born, I was so small. Them say me could have just all in a one answer.
Mm-hmm.
So
oh, were you premature?
no, I wasn't premature, but I don't know. And they said I was very small. It was just last week you shared that story with me.
So that's how you got the name Bunny.
So I got the name. But after learning the meaning of my name,
Mm-hmm.
it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I started embracing my name and embracing that beauty.
Wow. All right, so hold on. The chat is blowing up. I don't know what your young people them talking about, Bunny. All right, so someone here says, Sean Ennis says, powerful testimony, definitely to rewatch from the start. Yes, Sean, and tell all your friends to watch it. Trisha Brown. Wow, things the tongue can do. God bless your mom for the intervention. I must really agree with that. Because
Yes.
one of the things that I need to point out here is that if you did not share what was happening to you, you would have still been in bondage of what was said those years ago. And so I want to encourage someone even now that whenever someone speaks something negative over you, if it is that you start to believe it, you need to speak to somebody who you can trust, somebody close to you that can give you good advice, because not all advice is good advice. And that is what I want people to understand, because a lot of the times, some of the times we don't really know God for ourselves, so we don't know how to approach him, how to ask him for the revelation of what was said about us. Find somebody who, and we know that especially in these days, those people are hard to find. Those people who can be trusted to keep your secret are hard to find. But to be honest, they are there, and it is just a matter of looking and really opening your eyes to find such a one. Like for you, you found that person in your mother.
Yeah.
And it is quite interesting that you would have not said it to your mother from then. And I realized that it was because of the way you looked up on this person that you didn't say to your mother, because whatever that person said was almost like gospel. So you embraced it and you lived it. Wow, my God. All right. Here we go now. Bunny. This is like a from brokenness to victory kind of story. How did you meet your husband? How did it transpire? How did now the person who now get no man end up having one man for yourself?
Yes,
And for yourself. How did it happen? What transpired now?
Okay. My other sister got married in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
I went to visit her one day and I met this guy and he started talking to me nicely, But as me tell you, say, me run from him because nobody now go want you.
Oh my God.
And he remained a friend. All when me not talk to him, he never missed a birthday to call me.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Mm-hmm.
my husband tall and slim, but me did like big body man. So God remove the veil from my eyes and I tell me, say, your husband, this is nobody. I said, no, God, nothing.
So hold on now. So but what was your reason for liking stouter men or big body men? It was just a
You know,
preference of
that's the
yours?
reason.
It was just a
You know,
preference.
like how you just hear they say, tall, dark, and handsome, and have little chest.
So no, he's relentless in making sure that he stays close. How did he?
Yes.
What at what point were you worn down?
Um, Years after, I'm telling you that. Let me tell you something, man, and I can tell anybody, any one of the young people, person watching this. You see, when God has something for you, you're going to get it. You don't have to
Mm,
run to it. You don't have to run it down. It's going to
right.
come to you. We remain friends. But I remember I always said to him, because he's from, the kind of family there,
Mm-hmm.
them kind of family that my husband come from now.
You're serious?
Yeah.
But Ray.
Me said to myself, I said, him not gonna want me, and worse, I have a child. Me I said, no, sir, me
So,
not
so,
really
so,
like
so hold on,
man.
hold on, hold on, hold on. So even though you, you would have, was this saying this was before you
Before.
recognized? Okay, okay, I
Yes,
continue. Okay,
it was before because as I told you, I met him in 2002.
right, right.
And so going down, he was always there. We remained friends, but you're not cross the border there because
Mm-hmm.
somebody like you, where you could have seen on me, somebody like him not gonna really want me. I may say maybe him just want to fool up somebody and then him gone about in business. So honestly, we did not pursue a relationship, but we remained being friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that even after I got over what was said.
Mm-hmm.
I gave him a hard time.
Even though you would
Mhm.
have not believed
Yeah,
what was said before, you're still
yeah.
giving him
I
a hard
still
time.
gave him a hard time. Like I would always, I would just be running, 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 running from him, running because I didn't want, sometimes I still want to say, wonder if I'm gonna really want me for true. Me have a
Mm-hmm.
child already. Wonder if you're gonna make a perfect wife. Wonder if you're gonna be a good wife. And all of those things were still affecting me until one day he said to me, because then now remember, say my daughter was grown.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He
She
was
would have
there
been
when
grown no.
she would have been grown now. So I am like, who are gonna want me with one big pitney? And I remember he said to me, I love you and I don't love you for anything that was in your past.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love who you are now. And you have a daughter, we have a daughter. I mean, I saw him to the madman, yeah, man. Him not tell me,
Body behaviors. So, but hold on. So even though you would have gotten over what was said to you, what you believed, there was still some residue of it left.
yes, residue was still there. And, honestly, I didn't even realize it was my mother. I am telling you that I know that I have the best mother in the world. She
Mm-hmm.
has spiritual insight. When I told her, and it's like I kept on lugging on it and something, and she said, listen to me, we have to get rid of them something there, get rid of them something out of your system, get rid of them something out of your system, worse than nobody else. Nothing
Mm-mm.
wrong with you,
Yeah.
nothing is, and I mean, my mother just keep knocking on it, keep knocking on.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important to have a praying mother.
It is very important to have a praying mother.
Very important to have a praying mother. Because if I did not have my mother, I would have, sometimes I look, as I said, sometimes both of us sit and we look and we said, but look how long we meet each other. Even his parents, yeah, when we were supposed to get married, his father said, we could have do this 20 years. I'm telling you, the record was still there. And so I was watching every move that he made. And yeah, I said, one day if him really mean me no good. And then me have one daughter. But thank God, he sent me a good husband, a wonderful husband. And my daughter is 24.
Big woman, you know.
Go on. And sometimes I was saying to myself, then when we go out, I'm not gonna feel one way.
So- No, but Bunny, if the thing is, if it is your daughter, it could simply means that well, you had her when you were 15, so that kind of rough still. But it could still be his. It could have still be
He's
his.
a year younger than I am.
No, but come on, a year. Bunny, come on,
You
1
have to be
year.
really good, man. Yeah.
No, but 1 year.
No, but everybody who know him and know family where he come from know say him not that rude. Him not rude and we.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not even those who know. It's those who don't know. So
And a lot of
yeah,
persons who
Bunny.
don't know, because my daughter is tall and my daughter is slim. So, she can't pass in that, man.
Of course. So
Yeah,
so
man.
hold on. So Shade, I think it's Shade Miller. She says Kareem out and stunting, got bunny heart pumping.
Right up! Right up! Tell her she have not sent me the lyrics.
Oh my God! All right, so now you are going to get married. You have put off this for so long. You have tried to run away from it, even after you have put aside what was said to you before. There was still some residue in the back of your mind saying that, but what if? Now,
What? Yeah.
why did you say yes? How did you end up saying yes?
I remember one morning I went on fasting because, as I said, because of that little residue still, you just want to be sure. And so I went on fasting and I was praying about it. That was specifically why I went on fasting. And while I was there praying, I heard, it is real, it's real, for I know it's real. Me jump up off of my knees. Oh God.
No, bunny, you mash me up. No, you mash me up.
Me jump up off of my knees. Me say, no God. God, I'm start looking good. I'm start looking at everything. I say, one day if I can't deal with the things that what people have to go. Because I'm telling you, a lot of persons did not talk to me because of how people would look at them.
So even
And-
hold on. Even all these years later,
Yeah, man. When we were to get married, the amount of things that people say. But as me tell you, say, God send me the right man. No fears him, nothing at all. Sometimes I say, somebody said to him, say she have a daughter. So I say, yeah, man, I know she have a daughter. You're sure, say she have a daughter?
you're
I mean, I tell you,
serious.
when people talking, they add on them things for it, she bad in her bad. She bad make she the breed of people.
No, oh my God. So,
Honestly.
so you're telling me that people just didn't want you to be happy,
Yep. Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
this is because of one thing that you did, like
Yep.
more than a decade ago, almost 2 decades.
Years ago. Yep.
How long?
Yep.
How long now have you been married?
I've been married a year and 2 months.
So hold on, Mr. Bunny. Hold on, wait, man. This is unbelievable. You mean to tell me, say, even just when the people were still trying to fight it out of your happiness?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
So,
You see when you wear bunny shoes, the things them where you have to go through.
no,
Man.
but this is
That one
ridiculous.
thing, I am telling you that that one thing was just. My husband is not from my church, you know. He goes to prophecy.
All right, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Why didn't you leave that church and go to another church?
I think that is where I am called. And I do believe that all the things that has happened, they were for reasons. Some of them are not yet revealed, but they're yet to be revealed. I know it has to be for purpose, because why would God have me crying there all these years just so? Mm-mm. I believe it is for purpose, and you
Well,
know,
Tony Shea say you can't leave her, so you can't leave them.
I'll leave them. But I think it is for purpose why I am still there. And sometimes I felt like I wanted to go elsewhere. You know, when I got married, you know, somebody and a grown woman came to me from church, and another missionary woman, and she said to me, "Boy, you're brave, you're brave." So me, I say, "I'm brave. Your husband brave." So me say, "My husband." Because I say she has to go husband brave to take me up now.
No, sir, them people I see no. Me can't manage money, you know.
She said, somebody else say, brave with what? What do you mean by that? But as me tell her, say, me not very rude. So the words, them put in here, so really, but them not come out and chat. So, me that, me just say, yeah, yeah. But I got so used to it still that after a while, it became nothing to me. But the lady say, my husband brave, me brave, and my husband brave. Because you brave, if you go married so old, I have one big pitney already, and your husband brave, to go take you up, we have pitney already. And he's a young, nice man.
So I'm assuming then that all of this would have been because they probably think that he should have picked up a virgin.
Oh, yes. And until statements like those were made, But a lot of the things I tell you that God has really blessed me with a wonderful husband, He never said them to me. Until after we got married, He never said them to me. A lot of stuff that were said to him.
So do
Why
you
she?
think before
Why she? Miss Mary daughter, Miss Deep Mary daughter, nice virgin girl in a church. Why you not take she?
what you said to me? So hold on. So let me ask you this. If you think do you think that if he had said them to you before it would have changed your mind?
Um,
What do you think would have happened if
maybe because I was always saying to him, why me for true? Why you want to get married? You sure? I was like nagging him every day about it. Why you want to get married to me? Why me? You sure you want to get married to me? People are gonna say, well, if I something about you, people are gonna treat you this kind of way. People going to do this. People going to do that. And sometimes I am talking, and he's not even paying me any attention.
wow. So one of the things that really from your story that really is surprising to me is how people can keep what God has put down So God would have forgiven you like from the outset. Because number
Yeah.
one, you were not yet in church when you got pregnant. You
Mm-mm.
committed your life to God. So on that commitment, you would have been forgiven for the mere fact that you got pregnant. And then
Mhm.
again, Bishop W. A. Blair, which is my pastor, um, one of my pastors, he says that you expect sinners to sin. That's what they
Mhm.
do. But once they have transferred or they have stepped across into salvation, then you can't judge them for what they did before they came in. And even after that, you still can't judge them because you don't have a right to judge them. Because this is the thing is, what people need to understand is that human beings make mistake, and no sin is bigger than any sin because God sees sin as one thing. Sin is just sin. So whether you tell a little white lie according to people, or you fornicate or you commit adultery, it is all sin, and any one of them can cause you to go to hell.
Yes.
So now these people need to understand that you can't hold on to something that someone did before they came into church. Because you see, one of the things that you said correctly is that no one came to find out what your story was. And because they don't know your story, they're judging you based on what they knew happened the night you got baptized.
Yeah.
Nobody took the time to say to you, okay, Bonnie, we realized that you got pregnant and stuff and stuff. And based on the calculation and my human calculation, it seems as if you got pregnant after you got baptized. You understand what I'm saying? So even if you're
Yeah.
thinking that you got pregnant after you got baptized, it still does not give you the right to hold this against you for all these years. And it is ridiculous that people would still have that against you and still going to your husband like several months ago basically to say to him,
Mhm.
why are you getting married to this lady? Why you don't? It is ridiculous. And one of the things is that I'm really happy about is that God is not like man. Because
Yes.
if I was God at that time, me that dumb them like how Zacharias dumb when he after he come out I get the vision about John the Baptist because it is ridiculous. You cannot, and this is what I need people to understand watching the stream. It is God can't. God says that He's going to throw your sin as far as the east is from the west, and people travel go all the way to the east, pick up your sin where you put on over there, sir, and come back and try to throw it in your face. And that is one of the problems that we are having with church people. And I'm very passionate about these things because I think some of us are sending ourselves to hell
Mhm.
because we are still holding on to people's mistake that they had already, or they have already asked God, Lord, forgive me for this, and we still hold it on. I mean, the man same one get married to you. This has been about what 24 years later,
Uh, Almost 24 years later.
and they're still holding on that 20. Them no unch, them back no unch, them people they back unch. No, because with all that weight, them back must hunch. Well, I must spiritually them back hunch because that no make no sense. All right.
But it's important we have to forgive. And the Bible says, how much time?
70
70
times
times
7.
7. So every day you have to just keep forgiving, forgiving, forgiving. And I remain humble. In all of that, I have remained humble. It doesn't matter what you do to me, or you do it, what you say,
Mm-hmm.
I remain humble because I know that God called me for a purpose. When things were so dark and cloudy, I felt like there was no purpose. I felt like why living? Why me not just dead and done or just going in the world and do so live for something but God has a plan for my life, likewise, everybody who is watching tonight.
So your husband decided that with all that was being said to him, he would have still gotten married to you, and today you're married and happily so.
Yep, I
Let's
am.
let's I realize. Let's move to another aspect of your life, and that is your ministry of in singing. You know, I got the opportunity to see you sing or listen to you singing a couple of years ago. I think it was 2019, 2 years ago.
19, yeah.
What is it that so your stage name is Bonnie,
Yes,
and you
funny.
said that you embraced it because of the story that was told to you by
Mm,
your brother. Now,
yeah.
what is going to happen now for Bonnie the artist?
Well, presently, um, big up Cario, the vision and the plan.
Yeah.
Because trust me, he came to me one day and he said, this needs to be out. You need to be out there. You cannot be here. You need to go out there. And I started because I was singing in a group, the Redeemed Ones, some years
Mhm.
ago.
Mhm.
We started doing some recordings. Then some kind of stuff went down with that. So still have those songs recorded and they were ready to go out. And then, something go wrong. Anyways, we're working on a song presently,
Mhm.
which you soon hear.
Mhm.
Hopefully by the end of this month, you'll hear it. Yeah, hear by your radio.
Piracha.
Your radio. Yes, but it'll be out there. But apart from that, we have a lot of stuff working on. As I tell you, I live such a dark life. I was not I was not on Facebook. None of them. Thank you, Jesus. But carry carry young, him say you can't continue like this. So you need to have one father now with like him have a big kickback on me. You need to learn these things.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember, I think it was in November, October there. I had an interview on Love 101.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So then I was asked, what platforms can we find you on?
And
Where's the line?
you have no platform for them find it
No,
on.
what's up? What's up?
Oh my god. No, oh god, my neck.
and and believe me, I have been singing. I've been singing for years, 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 and it is something that I love ministry. I really love ministry. I don't do it because I can sing. I do it
Right.
because there is a special anointing on my life, and
Mm-hmm.
I want to know that I can reach somebody. It's an opportunity for me to reach somebody. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't just take it lightly, like, oh, sing me a tune now. And, no, it is
Mm-hmm.
deeper than that for me. It is ministry. And so we've been doing a lot of work recently. He's been behind me, like
Mm-hmm.
everything. He's just been there, and I really I want to use this medium to say thank you. A really big thank you to him because I told you that darkness let me tell you something. Some things can really live with you for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was in such a dark place. Like, I didn't think nobody wanted to hear me out there really. And so it never really mattered much to me. Like, you just go sing a little concert them and you're good. And you
Mm-hmm.
go sing on Mexico and you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't build any platforms or anything, but he has been really working with me, and we've been working on a song now. So you can look out for it. Believe in him.
Mm. Believe
You
in
can.
him is the title.
Yes.
So you give me a sneak peek of the name of the song and all these things. Ray Bonnie. I know.
So
I
know
want to
that
tell you.
I'm terrified.
Well, I know. I want to tell you, say, Bonnie, you have
Mhm.
had this chat so active, it's not funny.
At you?
Um, Lord of mercy. Lego me shot. This is Prince Othniel. God forgives us and people still be carrying it. Then goody. Deep sea divers. Gone for what God has put in the sea of forgetfulness. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find it. It's amazing how God specializes in things and persons that people look down on. Amazing love. That's Chev Harriot.
Amen.
No, no, my wife came on and said this chat turn up. No, she's in class, and you see, she come on saying this chat turn
She's in
up.
class and chatting.
Tony Shea says thanks for sharing your story, Auntie Bunny. Erica Smith says that's genuine love, my darling. I think it was when you were saying that you have to forgive.
Yes.
Tricia Brown said men will be in the church and miss the mark because their motive is not to build up but to pull down. Tony says you are a conqueror. Eric Smith says same here, my dear. The like what Brother Paul said, none of these things move me that I may finish my course with joy. All right. Prince Othniel said, "Welcome to social media. Can't continue like this."
They know, all of them know it.
Nathalie Campbell says, "Sis, you always one of my favorite singers of all time. God bless you and your journey." Yes, I think I saw your sister saying something. Oh, she says, "Amen, Miss Sis. Blessings every time." All right. So now you are Sister Bunny, and you're working on stuff to come out. And I see somebody here on the chat says you can write a book, and of course I believe so too, because with a testimony like yours, there are a lot of persons who are going through the same thing that you would have gone through, and I think today this interview with you is opening a lot of eyes, because I'm certain that a lot of persons would have seen you, and they would have seen you smile, they would have seen you laugh, they would have heard you sing and minister, and they would have not had a hint of the things that you would have been through. And
Yeah.
even back in the day when you were ministering, you still were holding on to a lie that was told to you, and now you have launched out into the deep, because I believe that this is really the purpose. And I asked you the question earlier about why didn't you leave the church, because a lot of people, probably including myself, would have left, because I don't think I would have been able to not respond in a negative way. And I probably would have not only left the church, but I probably would have left God. And you came to that point where you wanted to commit suicide at some point, you wanted to backslide at other point, and stuff like that. And I am really, really, my aunt is calling me. She in the hospital. Hold on 1 second, the bunny.
No problem.
Hold on. Go and talk to your people's band.
Lord of mercy.
Lost Bunny, I'm sorry about that, my darling.
Okay.
She's fine. I was just making sure that she was okay. All right, so now you are. Erica Smith says, "Yeah, man, talk to us, man. How you do?"
Little good.
All right, so now I think you are at a very good place in your life. You would have passed through your storms, and
Yes.
you would have you would have done God proud because you are faithful. You are faithful in a few things, and I believe that now is the time for you to shine. Before
Amen.
we close this interview, you see, you asked me how long the interview, and I told you that it depends because you see, you know how long we're talking now? Almost hour and a half. You see how easy a 1.5 hour can just shut
Yes,
off?
yes.
What kind of encouragement would you want to give to young persons now, whether or not it is a similar situation that they have been facing, or whatever situation that they're in? Because to be honest, I think that a lot of young people, they're frustrated. Um, they are at their wits' end. They just want to stop. Just want to give up. And this testimony that you've given tonight showed perseverance. It showed commitment to God. And I just want you to encourage some young people within the next couple of minutes, and just, just say something to them so that they can be encouraged.
Well, I believe God gave me double for my trouble. Um, I told you my daughter is 24, and she was an athlete. She was asthmatic,
Mm-hmm.
but she was an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And then she later went on to university overseas, and she finished her first degree and is presently working on her second degree. I believe that when God has a plan for your life, it doesn't matter what anybody says. God
Mm-hmm.
has the final say. And it doesn't matter where you are tonight. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter how you look or how people look at you or how you feel or how people feel about you. At
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, who has the final say is God.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you this, whatever He promises, that He will do. Whatever He says He will do. If it takes 10 years, He's going to do it. All you need to do is just remain faithful. Sometimes the rope will be burned in your hands, because at times there were times when I felt like just giving up and walk away and leave church and leave God. But where can I go from His presence? Nowhere. And so I remained even though I was hurting. I remained even though I was in a lot of pain. I stayed. There were many times when I was singing and I would be crying because only God know the pain. But I am encouraging you tonight watching. And those who you have around you, young people, stay with God. Stay with God. No care how rough it gets, stay with God. Because He has a plan for all our lives. And what might seem dark today, God can turn it around for His glory and for your good. And so just be encouraged, because if somebody had told me my daughter got married recently, and if
Which daughter?
somebody, my 24-year-old daughter.
Oh, but you say, but Bunny, you didn't tell me that in a story. But but Bunny, you never tell me that in a story.
Oh yeah, my daughter got married, and that's why I'm telling you, when the curse was broken, the curse
My
was
God.
broken,
Mm-hmm.
and because of that, the heavens were open, and the blessings and the favor of God was just released because that curse was broken.
So hold on, the Bunny. Wait. We know we're done. But
That was
you
it.
just touched something a while ago. So basically, you know what you're saying is that God was waiting on you.
Amen.
God
Amen.
was literally waiting on you. And the other day I was talking to Kimola Brown Low, and we were talking about her song "Roll Away the Stone." And I remembered we were talking about how people would go into they go into the grave, the sepulcher, and they would block the entrance with a stone. But
Yeah.
the purpose, God is
Hallelujah.
there, and God, the
Hallelujah.
word is remove the stone. But unless
Yes.
you,
Do it.
what we say is that the the whole aspect of God working is man have to do something first.
Hey.
When Jesus was walking on the water, when Peter said, "Come to me," he could have just, with his words, lift Peter out of the boat and bring him to him. But he said, "Okay, come." You understand what I'm saying? And Peter started to walk on the water. When he could have, when he went to raise Lazarus, he could have just simply said, "Lazarus, come forth, stone be removed." When Lazarus come out, him could have said, "Grave clothes drop, fall off." But what he did, he says, "Roll away the stone." Then he called forth Lazarus. Then when Lazarus came out, he said to them, "Take him out of his grave clothes." So there must be some human input into the miracle, because there is no way that God is just going to. A lot of people, they're waiting on miracles and they say, "Oh God, I need a husband." For example, you needed a husband, but because you didn't believe that you were worthy of a husband, God had one put down. He met you meeting from 2002, and He kept him there, and He kept him there, and He kept him in your life. But you were still in your sepulcher. You were still behind your gravestone. Lord have mercy. You were still behind your gravestone, and all He was there to say, "Roll away the stone," but you were not listening to Him. Now that you have rolled away the stone, God has now blessed you in many ways. Your daughter is married, you're married, you're happy, and your ministry is blossoming because God has now placed somebody in your life to push you. Lord, no, sir.
I am telling you.
Bunny,
Glory.
your life is a message. Your testimony is a message.
Bless
and
God.
One of the things is, I'm really happy that, and as a matter of fact, it was Cario who he linked me up and him say, "Hey, who would be good for your chill and chat? Somebody you can talk to. Their testimony is powerful." And I to be honest, with chill and chat, I do not just pick up people and put them on chill and chat, because I think chill and chat it was God ordained. And so when he mentioned it, I asked him several questions, because I wanted to know. And when I spoke with you, then I got the confirmation that yes, Bunny need to be on chill and chat. And I must say that I thank you for being brave enough, because a lot of people, they have gone through stuff and they're not talking. They're holding it to themselves. And I want to thank you for being here this evening and sharing the stuff that you've been through, because I'm certain that a lot of people are going to watch this, and they're going to watch it again, and they're going to watch it again, because of how rich it was, and because of the information that you shared here this evening.
God.
It was a tremendous interview. It was awesome talking to you. It was awesome hearing about your story. I mean, you cracked me up several times, well, because and I recognize that that's your personality. You are just fun-loving, and you're just nice. And that is what confused me about why people would still be holding your mistake of 20 odd years ago against you. But the Bible, Jesus Christ himself said, a prophet does not get honor in his own hometown. And
That's it.
you see, as soon as all of this that you're doing with your ministry launch out, that is when you're probably going to hear people coming to you and start to say to you, "Oh, I said this," but listen to me, Bonnie. You see, when God has already started to bless you.
Amen.
You see, when the triple blessings start coming and the quadruple blessings start coming, just remain humble and remember that God brought you through the wilderness. You were at the land of Canaan. The Canaan is the promised land. But if you were born in Canaan and you stayed there, you wouldn't appreciate Canaan. You had to leave out of Canaan and go through all of the roughness to come back to understand, say, this is where you belong, and appreciate the land, which is what he did with the children of Israel. Because if he just gave them Canaan like that, milk and honey and all, they would not appreciate it. They would have taken advantage of it. But he had to send them all the way to Egypt for them to be enslaved, and then take them through the wilderness, through the Red Sea, and round the place before they came back to Canaan. So the fact that God did that, it is to help you to remain humble, and it is also to help to propel your ministries to where it should go. And I want to thank you. I really want to thank you, because today a lot of people are going to wonder if, you know, if that story is real, or if it's a fictional story. Because it's amazing. Your story is amazing, and I really want to thank you. I'm going to stop this, because thank you so much, Bonnie. Annika.
No, I think, you know, I really want to thank you for this opportunity. A lot of persons, a lot of my church people, they're on, and they never heard the story.
I realize.
And this is, you know, it was a platform that was given, and you made it so easy. Cario messaged me earlier and said, "You ready? The internet working?" And I tell her, saying, "Come like you have a big stick." And he said, "The internet working, everything up." And I said, "Yes." And then I said, "You know about nerminous, man, my nerminous." That was God's word, you know. That's God's word, nerminous. So say, my nerminous, him say, "Nobody nerminous, man, just go on, do your thing." When I came on, you made it so easy.
I bless you. I bless you. Bless the Lord.
You were called for this. You were called for this.
I thank you so much, and I give God praise, you know, for this platform too, and for people like you who continue to, you know. And to be honest, when it started, I wanted to talk about subscribe and, you know, force a subscription thing. But to be honest, right now, if people not subscribe, it don't bother me, because whomever is supposed to hear whatever stories are said on here, they will hear, and it will minister to them at some point in time. So right now, at the outset, when I thought about it, it was more for the subscription and, you know, get the viewers. But it don't matter to me no more. I just want to make sure that people get testimonies like yours, and just hold on to God. That is what really is important to me right now, and I am grateful that, you know, I thank Cario. Ricky, thank you so much for introducing me to Bonnie. No, in a more professional way, because I did just introduce her on stage last time, but but I really do. I enjoyed this evening, and I thank you. I have a song that I'm going to play after you hung up, and this is going to be for just the climax of this evening's interview, and I think this song is fitting. It's Rondell Positive featuring Christina Roche, Purpose Calling, which is basically Bonnie's life that we're talking about. But Bonnie, thank you so much. Of course, we'll talk again. I'd like to hear from you when you're single. Well, I know Ricky, I got send it, come give me. And stuff. So, and I also look forward to you doing a YouTube video, because generally what I do is, especially if the person is an artist, I would generally play their song before they come on. Last week I had Pastor Pertina Rule. She had a song.
I
Her,
saw her.
you saw her. Her story was that she was abused by her husband, her former husband or ex-husband, whatever the case may be. But she triumphed. You triumphed. That means God is still on the throne. He still loves His children, and He is still in the triumphant business. Lord have mercy. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Until we talk again.
Yes,
Bless you.
thank you too. Bless you, bless you, bless you.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Thank.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right, thank you so much. Wow, it is indeed. Yes, look on Bunny on our picture. They said, you see, Lord God, pretty lady like that too. Them people, they need to behave themselves. But I'm gonna play this song here from Rondell Positive. I want to thank you guys for actually being here today. I really want to thank you for joining me on Chill and Chat today. If you missed it, it is simple. You can just watch it again. You can watch it again. You can watch it again and again. I want to thank our sponsors, 2512 Smoothies and more. Give your stomach a healthy surprise. Yes, next week I'm certain that I'll have a smoothie drinking. It's Chill and Chat. Alright, you understand what I'm saying? It's Chill and Chat. Next week it's going to be awesome. Another awesome episode is going to be happening next week. People, I don't know who is going to come on next, like today, but probably by Wednesday or so. But keep looking out for the flyers. You can follow me on Instagram, kg.thekingschchild, DIKINGS child, CHILD on Instagram, and Blessed Beyond the Measure on Facebook. If you want to know who is coming next, if you want to subscribe, that's fine. If you want to see what's coming on next, if you don't want to, that's fine also. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I do bless you and thank you. Big up, all of you, big up. You understand? Big up. I love you guys. Until we meet again, bye.
Oh, come on, that's who I am. More than a conqueror, suffer my son. Hey, by the way, Rondell Positive, Christina Rochelle. You see, many are the plans of a man's heart, but it is the purpose of the Lord that prevails. Purpose supersedes plans. Purpose more important than plans. Say I was always smiling in the morning, car, bright sunshine, but deep down inside, I felt I was losing my mind. Too much time wasted, tired, frustrated, on the 9 to 5, procrastinated. A revelation start to hit me. My spirit start talk, so me calling it me. I hear purpose calling, stop procrastinate, no more stalling. I hear purpose calling, victor spirit rise up, no more victim. I hear purpose calling, in this world not of the system. I hear purpose calling, renew my mind straight kingdom living.
Two roads before me, which one to choose? People's opinion made me confused. Thank God for the process, now me can't lose. Abide by the precepts and stick to the rules. Cause when purpose stand up in your life, impossible divide, possible multiply. I'm stepping towards my destiny, cause I know you have something planned for me.
Purpose calling, stop procrastinate, no more stalling. I hear purpose calling, victor spirit rise up, no more victim. I hear purpose calling, in this world not of the system. I hear purpose calling, renew my mind straight kingdom living. I hear purpose calling, stop procrastinate, no more stalling. I hear purpose calling, victor spirit rise up, no more victim. I hear purpose calling, in this world not of the system. I hear purpose calling, renew my mind straight kingdom living. Focus like a locust, prepared and made strong.